Hello, everybody. So I plan to go through step by step about what government is and why that is important. If you have listened to a couple of my podcasts, you would probably know this. But I think it's you might learn something new, and if you believe I can learn something new, please shoot me an email or comment. So this is a philosophy show. So it goes both ways. It is ideal that everybody should be philosophical. So it's not just my thing. In any case, so I want to go step by step to explain how government operates. And why is that important? Well, it is important for people that don't know or want to understand my reasons why I why, of course, hate too, but why I do not like government. So basically, I'm arguing against, my plan is to argue against government. So hopefully you listen to my logic and reasoning, and at the end really is to pass this message to you, in the hope that if we can reduce violence, if human beings can find a way to reduce violence, we will be a lot prosperous. Our world is going to be more peaceful. Like, look around you. I think one of the things that I'm sure you might wish for people is to be prosperous. Do you enjoy people dying trying to cross US-Mexico border, or Africans trying to cross the Mediterranean into Europe? In Cameroon, in Nigeria, and other parts of the world, just extrajudicial killings for the only reason of belonging to opposition or rugged criminal organizations. Wouldn't you love to see these things reduced or eliminated? So if that is yes, if you want prosperity and peace among humanity, then this is for you. Then as you can see, it is very important to understand the argument. Hopefully you can come to that conclusion on your own. So that is the whole purpose. So you understand what government is as a criminal organization, basically, as an organization that promotes violence. And if you do understand that, then, well, we'll try to, as much as we can, to eliminate violence, especially institutionalized violence like the government. You and I don't know when someone is gonna shoot some people, kill some people. We can't, it's hard to predict that. But the ones we know happens is institutionalized. We make it so. Then we know it's existing. So what is government? Well, government, the government of Nigeria, government of USA, government of Indonesia, all of these, they are a way that essentially what government does is an organization that redistributes money or that try to solve poverty and violence. That's really the essence of what people currently use government for, to help the poor and to help reduce violence, to help the poor by distributing wealth and to help reduce violence. That's in summary what we make government to do for us. So, well, how does the government get that money to redistribute, right? Well, it gets it from people through taxation. Okay? So how does taxation come into effect? It comes into effect when the government passes a law. For example, it could say, okay, we are increasing the taxation on everyone. For example, it could be sales tax, it could be income tax, it could be company profit tax, all kinds of tax or fees using the road, all of these things. Now, the money and these things are not what is bad, why government is basically a violent organization. It is the consent. It is the consent. So, for example, I work, I pay income tax. I do not like to do that. Honestly, if you give me the choice, I would not like to pay income taxes or sales taxes. And I'm okay, I'm comfortable not doing that and not using anything that the government uses that money for. If that's possible, which is not possible because everything the government does, like the roads. So that is that on the consent. So really, they don't have my consent. The only reason I'm paying those taxes is I do not want to go to jail or get shot. You heard me right. That's literally the two reasons. This is not even a laughing matter. But is that ridiculous? Is it soft violence? Do as I tell you. You won't see the gun. I'm going to hide it as long as you do what I tell you. So that's the reason I do. I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to die. That's the only reasons why I paid these taxes. So you see, the government doesn't have my consent. So maybe this is for example, you want the government to take your money. That's fine. So you see the conundrum, right? You want, I do not. And that is a violation of property. It is no different if a gang of us vote to take your property. To say, hey, you know what? We just voted. We need to take 2% of your check. You give it to us because we are many. So our opinion matters most. You are the minority. Your opinion doesn't matter most. That is literally that's how it works. No different. No difference. So can you see at the root of collecting those taxes to pay for these intentionally good stuff, government uses violence. So it uses violence to get it from me. So this do or pay for what I say is good for you, or I kill you or send you to jail, that philosophy is terrible. Just imagine if I have that power to tell you to do what I want you to do, Just just imagine the possibility of what I could possibly ask you to do. That is why this philosophy has led to the death of more than 260 million people in the 20th century alone, last century. Minus all the wars, world wars. This is just government killing its own people. Through execution, through effects of the system such as famine and what have you. Just imagine right now, forget about what happened before. If I have the power to make you do what I wish is good for you, just imagine what I could possibly ask you to do. That is tyranny. We are so different. Everyone is so different. The food you like might not be the food I like. So if I think, oh, you know what, this food is really nice, and I think it's going to be good for you, eat it, or I send you to jail, or I kill you. That is terrible. That is just a terrible system to do anything. So that is why government is inherently bad. It's inherently a criminal organization. No different. When a criminal comes to your house to take your property, they're going to do it with the presence of a gun. Is it that you give them or you die, basically? Or I die if it is me. So that's what government is. That's how it works. And this government could come in form of a democracy, right? Majority vote and the minority loses. So the policy of the majority gets to pass. Get to pass. Or it could be in form of a dictatorship where just few men or just one man dictating everything else. I'm in charge. Everything I say holds. No democracy. It could come in many forms, right? But essentially, there's no difference. Whether it is one person saying, do as I like, or majority voting to tell the minority what to do. This isn't civilization. Although, of course, not although because it's wrong. No, although human beings, if you look at the history of the world, we are becoming more freer. Before, it's all kings and queens and authoritarians, right? Now, so one person or a few people. Now is democracy. So majority people get to tell the minority what to do. So we are on track to going all the way to individual choices. So you don't dictate for me, I don't dictate. If you like food A, you eat food A. If I like food B, I eat food B. You don't get to force me to eat food A, and I don't get to force you to eat food B. Everybody wins. That is what freedom is. So hopefully my reasons and arguments have taken you through the logical steps of why government is inherently bad and is an institutional violence. So we know it is there, right? So we can take it down. The goal is zero government, of course, zero violence, right? Zero rape. You can say, okay, I think we should reduce 90% of government and leave 10%. It's like saying, oh, you know what? I raped this woman 10 times a day. I'm just going to reduce this to once a day. That is still rape. That is still immoral. That is still bad. So the goal is zero violence. That is the goal. If you have any criticisms, you have anything you want to say, shoot me an email. If you need more explanation, anything you're thinking, if you want to share, I appreciate it. If you enjoy, if you've gotten a value of what I just said, help others know this message, so we can spread the message of peace, so our world could be more peaceful and more prosperous. Thank you. This is Adamu.